Hey everyone, and welcome to another jam-packed edition of the old OverMark podcast. We're your hosts, Dave and TJ, and we got a
81.
pretty big episode. Yeah, that's right, 81. We're closing in there. We're a couple months off from our 1 year anniversary. It was pointed out to me recently, so that's pretty cool. We're getting
Yeah,
there. We're still doing it.
yep.
How's it going there, TJ?
Probably about the same as you. It's the weekend. Uh, yeah, wait, is it the weekend? What's today?
Yeah, it's Friday. We're coming at
Holy,
everybody with a
holy
Friday
shit.
episode.
That flipped me out. I was like, whoa, wait. Because we were talking about doing it Thursday. I'm like, wait, no, it's got to be Friday. Okay, so,
Yeah, I fell asleep after work because I had a headache,
yeah,
and then we did it today.
we're doing good. It's Friday.
Yep.
I'm going to try to have a productive weekend like we talked about. I think you are as well, with some other shit that you're going to be doing related to work, getting some hours in.
Yeah, I got to run down like a hour and a half ish away and bring somebody an oxygen machine, and then just drive back. It's not that big a deal. It's more driving than anything. I'll show up at their house and be like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Dave. Here's your machine.
Yeah.
On is on, off is off. It's set on this setting. Here's your backup tank. Counterclockwise turns you on, clockwise turns you off. Here's our emergency contact information. Do you have any questions? Of course, they're not going to have any questions because they're traveling from up north and they already have oxygen up north and know all the shit about it. So it's literally just a drop and go. But you be professional and you take your time because you don't want to. These people are paying good money for this stuff, so you want to make sure that you give them their money's worth and you don't want to rush them. And plus, it's medical stuff, so you take your time a little bit.
Crop dust them.
No, no, no.
You don't do that?
Speaking of my headache, though, this stuff. The I got the Amazon Basics acetaminophen, and bro, it was like $12 for this thing. Right, that's a giant thing, and it's the fast actings.
Don't take all of it. Do not take that whole
Oh no,
bottle.
no, 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 no.
It won't go
Two at
good.
a you take two at a time, and much better results with this than the ibuprofen, which I am somehow started to develop a slight allergy to. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking weird. Part of aging, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. But yeah, it's awesome. It's weather's been pretty good out lately, so you can have some more
Yeah,
allergies with that. Fucking all these
it's
trees are already blooming here.
pretty warm here today. It got up to 80, so like it's probably like 75, 77 up
Yeah,
in the house right now.
it's
It's
72
not
here.
hot, but it's like if it was any warmer, we'd be turning on the air type of situation.
Yeah, but nothing too crazy. Just a normal work week. Glad it's fucking Friday. Here we are doing the podcast on a special Friday edition.
Yeah.
Super special, right? But
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we for a while, I can't remember. We were doing the weekends and then we were doing
yeah, we switch it up.
Friday, and then we were doing Friday, we were doing the weekends, then we were doing Friday and Monday, then we were doing Wednesday. I don't know. We're consistently inconsistent on what day. We're not married to any particular day, but you know, I don't know that we'll be doing Mondays anymore, unless there's like a special thing or like a reason to. I
We're on
kind of
kratom.
yeah, just the having to jump into the week and do a whole work day and then come home and have to try to be on. We don't want to give you a lethargic, shitty show where I'm like, oh, hey guys, fucking Monday, we got a case of the Mondays,
Yeah, this actually wasn't a bad week at all. I'm just glad that it's starting to get nice again because doing the roofing sucks
Right.
when it's cold, but it'll be warm before you know it. But yeah, it's
Yeah, you'll be out there sweating to death, and in a few months you'll be missing that cold because at least you can put on a jacket. There's you get naked and you're going to jail, and even if you're naked, still is not going to be enough to cool you off, or at least in Florida.
yeah, I don't know. It was a super nice fucking week here. That's all I'm saying. I always lose my train of thought all the time. I did have something at some point to say there, but anyways, real quick, we appreciate you for checking us out. I know I'm speak for Dave and I when we say we really appreciate you for watching the podcast, like, sub, all that shit. We're not gonna beg you to do it, but we will fly to your house and shake your hand if we were millionaires. We're billionaires,
Yeah.
but we're not. So it's Probably not going to happen, right?
No.
You don't think
Well,
so?
maybe. You never know. If we give
No, I said if we
who
were.
knows?
If we were,
Oh, yeah.
then we'll do that. If we're
Well,
both billionaires, we'll come and shake your hand.
I do have my lottery tickets here that I haven't checked from this week, like a degenerate. I got one's from Wednesday, and then there's today. So maybe I already have one. Probably not.
Maybe. I don't think any of them hit, so it wouldn't be anything too major. If you did, I mean, anything's better than nothing. Though, if you won like $100,000, that's fucking $100,000.
I mean, I'd buy me a house.
Yeah.
I mean, not a very
part of
nice
a
one,
house.
but I've seen some stuff popping up that is not.
Just don't move into the
under
slums.
that. Well, not
You have to
necessarily.
get robbed.
It's more like the area is not terrible, but the house that you're living in is a complete shithole.
Yeah. Well, that stinks.
It's like a trailer from the '60s that like doesn't have central heat and air type of situation.
Yeah, gotcha.
Not that there's any. I'm not knocking that type of living situation. I've lived in that type of shit, but I'm just saying. That's what's in that price range around here.
I don't know. We got a pretty weird real estate situation here. Everything's like, you fucking get an acre with nothing on it for like fucking $75,000. It fucking, I don't know if that's good or not, but that's not good for me.
I mean, that's property down here is about probably about that. You get the problem is you have these lots that are uncleared, and then you have to pay to clear them. You have to pay the impact fees of putting a house there, and fucking.
I'm just saying, you remember how much that shit cost growing up? You could get a fucking acre for like a couple grand. It wasn't shit, just
no more.
I remember seeing signs $900 for a fucking acre and shit growing up. Maybe even cheaper sometimes. Yeah. Now everybody's got a piece of gold.
We were too old by the time that it mattered, or that we were thinking about it.
Yeah, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Buy a house when we're 15?
Yep. Should have pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps at fucking 10 and got a no.
No, we don't. But I think you have an announcement, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. So just so everybody knows that. Oh, but we do have a little bit of a statement due to some recent allegations and discussion involving the beloved Michael Jordan. I hate to have to say this kind of stuff, but we want to apologize for the poor timing of our Image React segment last week. We don't support or condone any kind of inappropriate behavior involving minors, and given the situation, we're going to distance ourselves from that topic, and we're not going to be supporting or discussing Michael Jordan going forward, and unless we feel like it, and then you'll have to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, that's that whole playing with that kid's butt thing, that was real weird. And I know we're a little late to the party because when we're doing the show here, but because it was last weekend, but man.
Apparently he knows him, but that makes it even weirder.
Yeah, it's like I believe the driver of his team's son.
I don't care.
So like the guy that won the race. Yeah, I mean, like that's inappropriate behavior to anybody's kid.
I got a nephew, man. What am I doing? Touching that? That seems really weird.
I got a nephew too, and I got to tell you, if I owned a racing team, the last thing that I'm going to be doing is grabbing his butt.
I don't want to touch the kids at all. I might give him a hug. No. That's about it.
Like the extent of touching my nephew is like, fist bump, and I taught him high five when he was a toddler. How like they learn things, and I'm like, hey, come here, buddy. Put my hand down. I'm like, give me five, and he learned. So he learned five from Uncle Cheese.
Yeah,
and he learned fist bump from his grandpa.
Well, that's cool. But in the end, that's kind of weird, and hopefully, everything's okay with old Mike, because that seems like a fucking weird one, huh?
It's I don't even know what to say, how to say it. Man, don't do that kind of stuff, Mike. We really. Anyway,
kind of leaves you speechless there.
Yeah. Why don't we move on here? Because we got a lot of show, and sitting here being disgusted about Michael Jordan grabbing kids.
Yeah, it's not fun. But let's
is not great. It's derailing us entirely. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about here. Why don't you tell us what that is, TJ? Because I'm
so
kind of gobsmacked here.
yeah, me and Dave. I don't think a lot of people feel like this last year, and especially leading into this year. Hopefully, we're proven wrong in the next couple months, but we don't feel like WrestleMania has been really feeling that special. And we wanted to talk about how maybe WWE can change that, and they could make WrestleMania feel special again. So we we feel like it used to have like kind of like a unique feel to it. It's like the Super Bowl of wrestling. Now I feel like there's a couple other shows during the year that kind of match the hype and the bigness of WrestleMania. They don't have that name brand. WrestleMania, if it was separated from WWE, could survive on its own, but it just doesn't feel like it used to be, does it, Dave?
No, and I don't know
We're
what
used
that
to.
is. All the attractions. You know, we don't have Undertaker every year. There's no Shane randomly popping up anymore, or Vince. Steve Austin was cool because we didn't know exactly what we were going to get at WrestleMania 38, but it's like who are they to start bringing back now? It's like a bunch of PG era guys that the ones that
Yeah,
were
who are they going to
over
bring
are
back?
still there. Who are they going to bring back?
Yeah, some of these guys what are they going to wheel them out? Have them wave at people?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
steroids ruined some of those guys too. Like it's not like Lex can come out there and really do anything, right?
right. Well, I mean, he's pushing 70 at this point, I'd imagine. He's definitely north of 60.
He's doing better than he was. Remember
He
we
is.
covered that a while ago, and I think
Yep.
it's still going positive for him.
Yeah, I think he had a little bit of a setback, but my understanding is like he's up and around and doing stuff.
When setbacks happen, it's very normal.
He's working with, I can't remember it. I believe he's doing some kind of
DDP.
strength training with dudes. No,
Oh, separate.
like he's like coach strength training guys.
Cool. Yeah,
I
I mean
think like I think it's some of the WWE NIL guys.
that'd be one of the guys to learn from because he was fucking huge. But yeah,
His
like
his physique was insane.
pretty much like WrestleMania. Like let's just use last year for an example. It just kind of like felt all too familiar to you, right? Like they didn't really have any of the like big like um what was it like 30, which was the one where Stone Cold The Rock and Austin or Stone Cold The Rock and Hogan came out. You don't have segments like that happen anymore where all like you have three big names come out or like any kind of nostalgia grabs. Remember they used to have like the APA like do their little segments sometime at WrestleMania where they'd have like the cards games going in the back. Like they don't do
Yeah.
any of that. It's just like always the same format. Match, maybe one little cheesy promo, but it's mostly matches when that's not what WrestleMania about. WrestleMania, like even though I'm not asking for this specifically, but it used to have the celebrities, Mr. T, pop culture shit, super relevant.
There were attractions. Not that we're not advocating for matches. The matches are
Absolutely.
almost always good or great at WrestleMania, but it's missing the attractions, like we're saying. I know that we keep circling back to that word, but for lack of a better one, I just, other than the main event guys, who are the attractions and main event gals?
And what are they going to do? Bring Jelly Roll out again? I'm not sure how big of a deal that is. I think Bad Bunny did okay for him. I think they're trying to get him to come back for WrestleMania. And again, I'm not 100% advocating for the whole celebrity thing, but like they're not doing anything different, is all I'm saying. WrestleMania isn't unique. It's very similar to some other PLEs, like we were saying. I think even the 2 night thing kind of helped it feel less special because, now everybody gets a turn, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good and bad, but yeah, it's makes it feel a lot more guaranteed as opposed to like a earned spot.
Yeah. Do you think maybe guys would end up trying to work harder if there was less spots?
I don't know. I feel like that they're probably the the ones that want to be at WrestleMania and like are that type of competitor are going to, I feel like, work the same amount of hard trying to ensure that they're on the card.
Yeah,
you know,
you're
guys
probably
that
right.
have that kind of main event drive, or we'll call it Wrestlemania drive. Folks that want to be on that are gonna work hard to ensure that they're on that, because even though there are 2 nights, you know, what are they? They're they're doing like 4 or 5 matches each card. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like, it's not like the old. I mean, it essentially is like the old days.
just spread
You're just
out.
working. You're going to be on night 1 or night 2. Yeah, because the old days you'd have like a 5 or 6
But now
hour
there's
pay
two
per
main
view.
events, right?
Right. Now you get 2 main event
Now they
spots.
were trying to pull
So
that bullshit before, where they were saying like, "Oh, we have multiple main events in one night," when it was one night. You remember?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
It's like,
always try
this is
to.
the main event, and it's like, well, it's not on last, so
They're making way more money with the dual night thing too.
yeah.
They're going to be. You already saw it, and we'll be talking about it later. But they're doing. They're trying to get that place filled up. They're doing some discounts and shit, and we're going to keep seeing bigger discounts on both nights. You'll get like buy one get both nights free and stuff. But we'll talk about that a little more. But even if the Legends did come back, Dave, I don't think they could save the shows. It's just something about them, man. Um, they're just not hitting the way they used to, right?
Yeah. Well, that's everybody's pretty much aged out. It's crazy to think about that a lot of our guys are to the point where they are senior citizen adjacent. They're like
Yeah.
knocking on the door of, 60s. Some of them are in their 60s or even 70. Like DDP, I think it's
Do
70.
you do you remember when they used to have like the I don't know the exact word, but it was like the senior Royal Rumbles, where they would have like all the older guys. They had a gimmick battle royal too, where it was like Doink and a whole bunch of other. I think those were at WrestleMania, but I don't know. They used to have the Andre the Giant the battle memorial out at WrestleMania. They don't anymore. It's on like the SmackDown before. So I mean they're just all the culmination of programs that they have going on. And basically, if the programs aren't hot, the show's not hot, right?
Yeah.
And they don't really have any hot programs going. I think maybe the one that they put the most build into right now is Vakir and Liv. And I'm sure that'll be a great match, and I'm sure they're going to keep building it, and it's going to be good. But I don't know. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that's like I'm really looking forward to it, right?
Cody and Roman will be good. I'm probably looking forward more to the
No,
build.
it's Roman and Punk.
That's what I meant. I don't know why I said
It's
Cody.
okay. Yeah, you're right. That'll be good. But like, I mean, we're not going to see a build for that for weeks still.
Yeah, I think probably like 2 more weeks until
Yeah.
Roman is back. 'Cause, it's funny. You and I, first thing that we said, it was like, oh, that promo was really good, and it's like, now we're not going to get
Yep.
anything for a month.
Yeah, it stinks, man. You definitely want to see him around more. It's tough to get invested in anything Reigns does because it's just going to be at a pretty limited basis, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was like the one where they actually had The Rock, and the one where Cody ended up winning. Like, what was that, 40 or 39? But that WrestleMania, they blurred the lines. They kept doing a whole bunch of shit that was like these these press events where like
Yes.
they would like be rubbing shoulders, and like that's when WrestleMania and wrestling at its core is at its best, when the lines are blurred. And they're not
Yep.
doing a very good job at blurring them right now. And like WrestleMania, like it's time to bring out the big guns, and they're just not bringing them out, are they?
Nope. Yeah, well, like we had just said a minute ago, like what guns do they have to bring out at this point? Though it's
Yeah.
a bunch of
The creative needs to step up is really what it is. You're telling me that you got all this money and you can't do better than what you're doing?
yep.
Road
That
Dogg's
is
got to
exactly.
go.
He might have to, or at least get some help in there.
I know
Something.
that there's a lot of really, really, really fucking creative people out there that could completely change the way that the creative in this company could work.
Well, they keep hiring, and this has been a
Wrestling
thing for a
wise.
long time, but they keep hiring like Hollywood writers and shit like that,
Not
and
right
it's like
now.
people that
Have you seen who's in the rooms?
nah.
They're all it's all old wrestling guys. If it's
Oh,
the
well, that's
people in
good.
Unreal.
Oh, that's right. I have seen that. You're right. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Not necessarily. I think that they still have Hollywood writers that they have in a completely different room, and they give ideas. So they have idea writers, and those are Hollywood people. The problem is I think they hire shitty idea writers. And in the end, maybe they are good idea writers, but they still get sifted through by the guys at that fucking creative table, right?
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
So in the end, it's still everything's going through these guys, and I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Is it Triple H? I mean, he was doing all right for a little bit.
I mean, maybe not. He's probably just hitting a point where it's just a creative dry point,
Yeah.
so to speak. I don't know. We're in WrestleMania season and we're almost 2 months in. So hopefully it'll start to ramp up a little bit. I mean, the shows have been relatively good,
Yeah.
this whole year. So
they could be better.
yeah,
Screw all this wrestling crap.
Oh
I
shit.
just want to get a little slice of my gabagool.
I mean, the main point is that it's just WrestleMania, and it's that time of year to really step it up. And hopefully they do in the next 2 months, right?
Yep. I think once we pass the chamber, it'll
heat up.
It will. Well, I forgot what I was saying completely. That's okay.
Screw all this wrestling crap. I just want to get a
That's what
little
I was trying to
slice
do.
of my gabagool.
I didn't have it up, and then you hit that, and I just wanted to be like,
You're nothing but a suck. But a straight bullet ricochets and it's a goof again.
all right,
That's what we do around here.
Pretty
when
much.
Mistakes happen, we crutch on the soundboard and we laugh and we move on.
yeah. We're done talking about Mania. Hopefully it gets better. If it does, me and Dave will high five virtually.
Yep. Sorry about that awkward ending, but whatever.
The fruitcake is holding up the line.
Well, okay, we'll move on. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
You
All right,
call me
well,
names.
So here we go. This is going to be a fun one right here. So, Johnny Boy Laurinaitis is returning to the spotlight, Dave.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he's reportedly scheduled for a public wrestling appearance, and this is going to be his first wrestling appearance, appearance in the public. This is his first wrestling one in years. And his name resurfaced after the fallout from the Janelle Grant lawsuit, which, if you saw, she was talking today.
That was today.
Did you see her out there today? Yeah.
Yeah.
So she is she's not a bad looking lady. But anyways,
I'd take it down on her.
Did you see her up there? Like, would you? But she looked ditzy. She was smiling like, and all this other shit. Like, she looked like a fucking idiot.
There was an awful lot of questionable behavior on her part. I don't want to be accused of victim blaming or things of that nature, but there was definitely a lot of like carefree carrying on and laughing and smiling, and it's like
you don't see
you're trying to paint a picture that this guy is the worst guy of all time and did all these horrendous things to you, and then you're doing that. So it doesn't help her case. But we're not attorneys, and again, I don't want to be caught up in any kind of victim blaming, because if any of the stuff that they claim they did to her is true, then it's atrocious. But I'm just saying, you sell it a little better, sister. That's all.
100%. She's a goof, but we're gonna keep talking about this goof, John Laurinaitis here. So yeah, he's going to be at this fucking event here, and it's going to be for Big Time Wrestling, which I was actually that's where I met Sting, and I got the signature. So they've been doing apparently events since like the 30s. Big Time Wrestling has been around for a long time.
So apparently Big Time is Big Time.
Yeah, but it's funny because you remember when I was there were like some wrestlers that were like not near Sting that were kind of lined up, and like Arn and who else he had just got fired, the guy with the apple.
Carlito.
Yeah, Carlito was there. He showed up late though. But
course.
Yeah, I remember me and Arn locked eyes. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't want a fucking signature from John Laurinaitis. Like,
You take it up the poop chute.
yeah, pretty fucking much.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no. Is that what they were telling old girl?
I don't know. Like, could you imagine working for this company, taking this shit to HR? Like, as John Laurinaitis, you're like, I'm in too deep, but I gotta tell somebody. And he tells the HR person, and they're like, right?
Yeah, they're just like, I mean, they talk about, you know, that the Mr. McMahon allegedly pooped on her
Yeah.
while dude was plowing her. How you keeping a boner while that's happening? Like, as soon as there's any kind of unpleasant smell or weird situation, I imagine I'd immediately lose my boner, especially with a geriatric naked old man pooping.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's one hot tag you don't want to take, right?
No. Jesus Christ.
That'd be terrible. Like, could you imagine like going to work and like, you know, basically like trafficking chicks and stuff with your boss and like you like being that far in deep and you're like, fuck, I can't quit now. This guy's ruined my life.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
what a mess.
see the real thing is you don't engage in weird I won't even say it's weird behavior. We'll call it shitbag behavior because it's kind of what it is. Don't engage in shitbag behavior, and then you won't have to deal with the fallout of said shitbag behavior. Pretty easy thing to do in life, I guess. I don't know. That's
I
just
don't know.
me. Yeah. Well, speaking of things, let's move on here and take a drink real fast.
Oh man, but I
Speaking
like
of
how
taking a
Tony
drink,
joined us for the first time. This is early. He joined us. Usually he's in at the end.
he told
Recently.
us he told us to screw all this wrestling crap and get some gabagool earlier
Yeah.
too. He's a real dick.
Yep.
Coming in hot this episode. But anyway, we got a wrestler you would most want to have a drink with. If you could sit down and have a drink with any wrestler, past or present, who are you choosing and why? And I'm going to let TJ present his answer first.
I'm gonna say whatever I want. It's called freedom of speech.
Sure is.
All right. So that being said, you know, freedom of speech and all, I think I'd want to pick Andre. People, you know, talk about his legendary drinking stories, right? And I think that would be badass to just be there with him. And if he liked you, could you imagine the stories that he would be telling you? And just like, you know, nobody's fucking with you while you're hanging out with Andre, so you just got the run of the place. And you know, I just think like that would be the ultimate, like, imagine being on a boat with that motherfucker. He gets on the side of it, you're fucked. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit that could go wrong, but you're not getting your
You
ass
stay right in
whipped.
the middle, Andre. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get your ass whipped if Andre likes you. So that is one.
Well, it depends
thing.
on which Andre it is too, because he could barely move at one point. So if it's like '90s Andre, you know, you might be fucked.
83.
Okay. Well, mine is CM Punk. No, I'm just kidding. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course. I'd say.
What?
You know, I think that it would probably be pretty cool to chill with a modern day Steve Austin and, you know, throw some cold ones back. Stone Cold back in the day might have been a little bit too much of a hellraiser for old Dave. You know, I'm pretty reserved, but
You want to drink with Current?
yeah, I mean, I'd drink
that'd
with
be
back in
cool.
the day Steve Austin too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wouldn't whip my ass or act like a psycho or anything. But
Well,
you know.
he'd have more stories today.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
exactly the thought process behind that.
Yeah, he'd tell you anything. Like, you imagine hanging out with him for multiple periods of time. You'd know all kinds of crazy stories that no other fan would know.
Just the random, you know how it is when you're hanging out with your friends shooting the shit and you get a couple of drinks in you and you just the random stuff that comes up.
Here's one. It's me, you, Andre, and Austin at a pool table, and we're all just hanging out, drinking, playing pool.
Oh boy,
That'd be some fun shit, huh?
we could make a AI image of that so that people can lose their minds.
Yeah, they could hate on that shit too. For context, we have the OverMark Gaming channel, and you know, for most of our thumbnails, we use AI. It just is what it is. We don't really make any money from this, and me and Dave are kind of strapped for time. So for convenience and honestly to make them look good and work and attract attention, we have to use AI for our thumbnails. If you don't like it, we apologize, but we don't mean anything. We're not putting anybody out of work. We don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just the reality of being two middle-aged men that work our asses off.
Yep. And I mean, you look at all these other channels. Every channel is using AI for their thumbnails. Even
Yeah.
the big channels are doing it. It just is what it is.
Yeah, and it's okay if you don't like them too. Just if our content's not for you, that's okay. You don't have to hate or be negative.
Jumpy,
Yep.
jumpy, beep, beep.
I feel like that's a fair stance, though, right, Dave? Just don't watch our shit
Yeah.
if you don't like
Yeah.
it. That's fine, right?
And if you don't like it, that a Japanese fella will choppy your pee-pee.
I got 2 words for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we both got
something.
fine choices on our drinking buddies there. But speaking of drinking buddies, because I know this guy likes to drink a lot, talk to us about this motherfucker right here, Dave.
Dickhead.
Well, we got John Cena and potential WWE Hall of Fame in 2026. Obviously, he's officially retired from in-ring competition. WrestleVotes Radio. I'm not familiar with that publication, but they report there are currently no plans for Cena to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Stephanie has already been announced as the headliner for this year. There's speculation that they're holding off so that he can headline a different Hall of Fame year. No shit. That's the dumbest speculation of all time. Oh man, I
don't
think
have
that
unlimited
water
people.
might be wet. I think the sun might be hot. Like this is just the
They don't have unlimited people, right? So they got to spread these.
Yeah.
They can't make the top too heavy.
right, you know. So
Stephanie,
I imagine it'll be in a year that Mania is going to be somewhere that has some kind of historical significance to Cena or his career. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's not going to be anytime soon because it's going to
No.
be Saudi Arabia next year.
yep. And then who knows after that?
Yeah. It's not, I don't think
Maybe the Saudis will want him in that next year, and they'll pay for him to be the headliner. Who knows?
Oh, man. Very good point. You nailed it on the head right there. Didn't even think about that. But yeah, he's definitely
Anything's possible with the checkbook
Yeah.
that they have and the people that are still alive that can move.
and not only that too. It's like you think Triple H is going to have somebody headline over Stephanie as well.
No.
Yeah, that's his his children's mom.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love Stephanie as much as the next guy, but I don't know that she's necessarily. I'm not the strongest headliner. You know what I'm saying?
She's Hall of Fame worthy. There's no doubt
she
about that.
she
But
definitely
headliner,
is.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, like, she's without question Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, she's well, multiple time women champ, I think. I'm not sure if it's more than one, but I know it's definitely at least one. And she's contributed a lot to the business. She's Vince's daughter.
She probably is. I remember when I was a kid getting the WWF magazine in the mail, and there'd be like the ads for the Shawn Michaels t-shirts and shit like that, and she was one of the models in it and stuff. Like I vividly remember that shit. So I mean,
You remember
she did it
Shane
all.
was in charge of that thing for a little bit? He was like, "Sis, I
do
need you to
remember.
model on this shit for me."
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, nothing funny. Shane's a very hard worker. He seems to
And
be.
then I was like, I need you to model in something too.
Oh,
Oh shit, yeah.
whatever you got
Not-
to tell
not-
yourself, man.
no, not yeah.
Falling to
That was a different person. Anyway, we're getting way off track here.
And they stink.
I'm gonna pull out the
Oh,
taser
no,
lighter.
put that
and
thing away, man.
Corral is back in. It's like a miniature cattle prod.
Son of a bitch.
And we're going to talk about more WrestleMania 42, as if you guys haven't already heard enough.
Yeah,
The discount, the WrestleMania 42 ticket prices were discounted. They had them for 25% off. The sale did end on Monday the 16th, so we're a few days behind on this, but it was just
they're gonna have more.
It's more talking about that they were discounting WrestleMania tickets 25% off. Like,
This early.
yeah, usually by
It's still
now it's
months
pretty
off.
close to being sold out. You
Yeah.
know, or like 3/4 of the way or 2/3. So the fact that they were running a 25% off is crazy this early, and obviously it suggests that there's a lot of inventory still available, and it raises the question about demand pricing and the Vegas market saturation. I'm sure that a lot of locals did make the trip for it, because why wouldn't you? It's like, oh well, WrestleMania is in my town. Why wouldn't you go? Except for I didn't go the COVID year, and it was in Tampa. Big regret. But whatever.
We all live with regrets, and there's still time to make it up, and you have your chance.
I at least went to the one in Orlando and got to see Undertaker and Edge, so that's cool.
I'm telling you, one day we're going to go to WrestleMania together in
That would be
OverMark
cool.
style. You know, we will one day, and we got plenty of life to live yet, even if we're fucking old
And
men.
You fans are gonna afford us that opportunity.
Hell yeah.
and thank you for that.
Yeah, I hope that would be fucking amazing. But I mean, I'm not too surprised that the discount was happening. But I mean, I think everybody knew that the tickets weren't moving very fast. So, what can they do to get people to buy them? I don't know. Maybe we fucking lower the price, right? And then they're doing it like it's some limited time sale. They're gonna have way bigger sales than this down the road. They're gonna have like, buy like 4, get 4 free. Take your whole fucking family to. You know, and they'll be 50% off themselves. Like, just watch. But I can promise you one thing: they'll have that place almost fucking packed, for both nights, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
without question.
and they're doing that thing where they're getting rid of all the watch parties within 50 miles of the area too. So I mean, if you want to watch it in some kind of group setting that's not in some person's house, you got to watch. Like, you can't watch it in a bar. You got to go to the stadium, spend a little money.
Yep.
Some cheddar, they're going to take it from you. Yeah, it is. Hopefully they figure it out. But, I mean, that goes with what we were saying earlier. WrestleMania is kind of stagnant, right?
Yep, it sure is.
But they can change all
figure that out. They could. Well, speaking of changing, let's change topics here.
Some
and
gears.
Wanted to carry us into the next one here. Yeah, we're
Switching
shifting
gears.
and we're shocking.
You get that thing out of here, man. Fucking going to hurt somebody. But, yeah, so...
One of these days, if we get enough likes and comments, I'll...
Oh, shit. Damn, I'm going to put that on Twitter.
I'm not doing that. I'm taking that back right now because people are degenerates on the
don't do
internet, and they will say to do that. And this thing is actually a lighter, not a shocky thing. So it would burn the fuck out of me and not electrocute me. And I'm not, I might consider the shocky thing, but I'm not burning myself.
Well, speaking of burn or some fire here, we're going to start round 2 of this fucking OverMark Tag Team Tournament here. And we just got, this is the first 4 matches. It's the left side, correct, of the tournament. And then the next 4 to finish up round 2 will be the right side. So speaking of the left side results here, we're going to jump right into it with the Outsiders, and they defeated the Usos. You know, what do you expect this match to go? I'd take a guess that the Usos did a little bit of high flying. This thing probably lasted about fucking 15 minutes. And then the Outsiders get a little bit of that outside work going a little bit. Maybe distract the ref. Fucking hit him with a chair. Maybe put him through the fucking the table.
A lot of super kicks to the chest.
Oh yeah. But then eventually fucking Kevin Nash gets tired of that shit and just fucking lays one of their asses down for the 1, 2, 3, brother.
Yeah. There's some kind of interference from Six, I would imagine, or maybe Vincent.
Oh shit! You think so?
Yeah, Vincent comes out there and he's their bump guy, you know.
Oh shit!
He gets beat up so that the Outsiders can keep rolling.
Hell yeah!
Yep.
Take us on.
That sounds good to me. Well, match 2 would be the 2-man power trip versus the Young Bucks, and I don't know who you would think would win here, but I've got a pretty good idea, brother. That doesn't work for me. Star Power and Peak Dominance went out over match catalog. The Bucks changed tag team wrestling, but the 2-man power trip felt bigger than the division itself, which is true. Any booker in the world, including Tony Khan, would book this match this way. There's no...
Yeah.
I mean, there are swerves that you could maybe, if there was somebody else that the power trip was feuding with, maybe they would cost them the match somehow, but there's no booking way that this makes sense other than having the 2-man power trip win.
Absolutely. And it's funny, you know, you remember how like Heel Austin would like grab the people's head and like all funny before he stunned them? He would like position their head like an asshole and then like He definitely does that to one of them at some point here. But then we got the Colossal Connection defeating the Road Warriors here. Pretty hard hitting match. I feel like this is a pretty controversial match. The Road Warriors, they were the kings back in the day. They got they call it Road Warrior Pops for a reason, right? But
Yep.
but yeah, the Colossal Connection, they're just unstoppable. They got fucking Andre in there. They got Haku.
Andre and Haku,
And so what are you gonna do? Not too much to say here. Just hard hitting. Didn't last too long, and Andre lays one of their asses down.
just as what it is. Classic
Yep.
WWF tag team presentation.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I'll tell us about the next match here. We got
One of my
the
favorite
Mega
matches.
Powers taking on FTR. Man, this would be a tag team classic.
Yeah.
Pure tag team fundamentals versus overwhelming star power. FTR truly are one of the best tag teams ever. But the Mega Powers win on myth, spectacle, and cultural weight. I mean, it's the Mega Powers. The hard thing about this tournament is there are so many tag teams that it's like, well, yeah, that they could win. They could win. But, you look at the Mega Powers and it's like, well, shit, they could win.
Absolutely. It's the fucking Mega Powers, but it's going to be pretty interesting, because there's going to be a matchup of the Colossal Connection versus the Mega Powers here. And that's like almost as big as it gets, right?
Yeah.
Especially for tag team in their era where they were around the same time. So I think it's kind of neat that they're going to end up lining up there. And then we're going to get the Outsiders versus the two-man power trip, which is kind of funny because those guys are like fucking best buds. All those
Yep.
guys.
That'd probably be a really cool match.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think the way that we wove this thing together, even though, we're not the most technical with any kind of breakdown, I think when you look at the matchups, the way that they're put together and when they happen in the tournament, it shows a lot of depth in a very, very entertaining and very in-depth tournament. What do you think?
And it was a Sicilian's good that made me so.
Fuck yeah. He hung up on me. Did you guys hear that? He's out of here.
All right, and we're going to move on real quick, but we're going to just move on from what we're about to talk about too. But if you guys haven't seen the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer's awards came out. They're voted on apparently, but I guess we were going to talk about it. Give it a little bit of thought, but we're not going to do that. The fan voted, and all these guys are kind of stuck in a little echo chamber, so the results don't really reflect wrestling as a whole, or as a small. It reflects a very small niche, pretty much. But even the people associated with the shit have pointed out how ridiculous these awards are. Brian Alvarez pointing out it. A whole bunch of people have. But we don't really want to give it any more attention than it already has. We just suggest, like us, that you guys skip them and probably don't give them any attention either.
All this from a slice of gabagool.
I guess so.
Fucking
But he sounds real concerned about that. He's like,
yeah, I know.
Hey,
Gabagool.
she was a hooah.
Oh shit.
Was she?
Yeah.
Turn this place
Oh
into
man.
a fucking eighth
Uh-oh.
I don't want to do that. I think that would be better.
Well, speaking of wanting the Punani, we talked about this a little bit. We got a follow-up on the Warner Brothers Discovery minority stake in AEW. And when we say minority, we are not talking about the folks that are wearing T-shirts at the water park. We're talking about a small, minuscule percentage ownership stake in a company.
Yes.
Yes.
That company being AEW.
Yes. A company that does wrestling on television.
Yeah. So we ended up talking about this. We ended up knowing. Yeah, we talk about it. So a CNN report ended up stating that Warner Brothers Discovery holded a minority stake in AEW, and then the prior court disclosure, which we had talked about this before, AEW listed its parent company as Beatnik Investments, which we knew that. They also stated that back when this happened in the court thing. This was with those Tate twins, right? But those filings also stated that no publicly held corporation owns 10% or more of AEW stock, which lines up with this as well. So nothing really changed too much here. We're just confirming that, okay, so somebody actually does own a stake in AEW besides Tony Khan and the Beatnik Company.
Yep.
Not too much to
Pretty
talk about.
interesting stuff. Nope.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it just goes to show you, though, that at any point he could, if he gets big enough, let's go public. He won't, though. He wants to control it.
No. Exactly. He never wants to have to answer to anybody.
Smart guy.
Well, we got a question.
What's that?
And it is, who had the biggest impact as a wrestling faction?
Oh, wow. Well, who do we have to choose from?
Well, there's a who's who, whatchamacallits and guys here. Of course, there's the NWO.
Okay, that's a good solid first choice.
We got DX. We
Almost
got
as good.
the Bullet Club.
I don't know about
We
that.
got Main Event Mafia.
Okay.
And the Elite.
All right. A lot of solid choices there.
Funny note about the Main Event Mafia is has some guys that were in the NWO in it.
Yeah.
And same with DX, actually, too.
Yeah. That is really funny when you look at it. All that generation of guys were just, just one of the best generations of wrestling, period.
Yep. Which leads me, I'll give my answer first on this, if you don't mind. That leads me to my answer to this question, which is the NWO, as is evident by them being members of 3 out of the 5 groups on here that are listed. I mean, shit. And these guys changed the business forever. These guys now get modern day paychecks and amenities and guaranteed contracts because these guys did it first.
Absolutely. They were trailblazers, and not to say that the Elite aren't either, because they help. He's just the guys that Tony Khan picked. The AEW would still happen regardless. It just kind of had a little bit of their flavor to it,
Right.
Bullet Club, they had a whole bunch of shirts. So some of the guys in the Elite are in Bullet Club as well. So that goes both ways. But
yeah,
Main Event Mafia, I feel like that's probably the least credible one out of all of them. But I love that fucking group. They did some really good shit.
Yep. That was peak TNA almost.
Yeah, it definitely was. But the Bullet Club just sold shirts, man. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't care about Japanese wrestling. That's not
probably the most successful wrestling merchandise campaign outside of a WWE merchandise campaign.
Absolutely. People like
in
it just
modern
because
day.
the gun's on it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, you like wrestling? No, what do you mean? I just like guns.
I like guns and bullets, and I'm in the Bullet Club. And it's like, well, that's wrestling, dog. Oh,
but
well,
Oh, go ahead. Oh, but yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you though. I haven't given mine. Mine's the NWO as well. How could you not go with the NWO? The biggest heel turn in wrestling ever with Hulk Hogan.
Literally.
And then you had the Outsiders, who happen to be doing pretty well in our tournament, by the way. But the Outsiders are fucking awesome. I wouldn't say that they're one of the greatest tag teams ever by any means, but they're the fucking cool factor. They were a great tag team, and they're memorable. Just it was their time in wrestling is why they're so memorable, and what they did and who they were around. I think is the big reason why they're memorable, and the contract things like you were talking about. But DX I think would probably be number 2 here. But they were there as a counter to NWO. DX doesn't exist if NWO is not there, I believe.
Right. That definitely spawned it. There was our friends are doing this cool shit over here. We want to do cool shit together on this side. We're getting our ass kicked. Why don't you let us try? And eventually they wore him down, and they let him try, and they did well.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us?
Dave.
Thank you. You too. Why don't you tell us what we're? This is kind of a sister segment, I guess, to what we were just talking about.
Yeah. So that actually takes us to what we're going to talk about right now. So since we both picked the NWO, we kind of wanted to talk about like if you could pick a modern day NWO, let's just say like there was literally an NWO faction. They were wearing the shirts. It was approved by Kev since he's the only one there. And we get a modern NWO. Who would you put in it, Dave? Who are your three guys?
It's funny when we talked about this question, it almost instantly was these three guys. There was some back and forth on one of them, and but ultimately for me, CM Punk is the leader. He's got the most cachet, I would say, of most of the active guys. He's the grizzled veteran shit talker. He's one of the greats of the modern era. I wouldn't necessarily call him the Hulk Hogan of the modern era. We'll just call him one of the greats of the modern era. And then you got to have your big muscle guy, your big sexy, your big man. So I went with Drew McIntyre on that. Initially, I kind of leaned towards Seth Rollins for this role, but after some reconsideration, I circled back, and I feel like Drew McIntyre is a good fit for the
I think so. The muscle.
The heavy of the group, yeah. And then my Scott Hall, the shit talker cool guy of the group, MJF. You take these three guys in any promotion on the planet, and they're running shop on everybody, on the mic, in the ring. It's going to be great. Online,
I think so. It'd be amazing.
Well, who was yours?
Well, hold on. Talk about yours first. So, like, could you imagine Punk and MJF teaming up with people on the mic, and then like Drew McIntyre backing them up, being there too, and then just the dirty shit that these guys would come up with? Because these guys, besides Drew McIntyre, these guys are more scheme. Even Drew McIntyre actually are schemers. They'll come behind your back. They're not going to get you from the front. Whereas I did a little bit different. Sure, we have some of that there, but just because of one guy in my group, I feel like it switches the whole fucking dynamic up. So we got Punk, who me and you have the same, and then I picked Rollins, and then I picked Brock. I think Punk and Rollins are pretty obvious. It's somewhat like the MJF pick that you had, but a little bit older. And the only reason I picked that is because when the original NWO happened, they were all in a later stage in their career. So right. I feel like this matches that to some extent. And honestly, how they have a big rivalry. I feel like it's tied there too. And then you pick fucking Brock, and it's just like, so how are you gonna fucking stop Brock when he's got these two guys, teaming up with him, telling him what to do if he needs to, and it'd be unstoppable, right?
Yeah, it'd be a great group, without question.
Yeah, like you want to talk about heavy, fuck man, that would be some shit. How could you outsmart CM Punk and Seth Rollins?
That's true. Well, you outsmart CM Punk and Seth Rollins by having CM Punk and MJ, and I don't even know if that outsmarts it.
Rollins
talk about
has way more experience than MJF does.
Yeah, he sure does.
But MJF's a generational, once in a lifetime talent. So
my group would have better shit talk. Your group would have better ass kicking.
Yeah,
is what I have had distilled from this.
And how do you stop Brock Lesnar again? The Brock Lesnar could take out fucking all the guys by himself if he wanted to, depending on the day, right?
Yeah. Depending on the day and the booking, he might.
Oh, that's funny.
Hell yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it is. And it's kind of ironic, too. So this takes us into what we're going to be talking about next. I think that we both had some really interesting choices. And I like how we both had Punk in it. How could you not have the NWO, modern day NWO, without Punk, right? Right.
Yeah, I think that he's kind of the no-brainer, the de facto leader, I would think.
But yeah, so one of your guys are what we're going to be talking about here, and it's one of the highlight things that we're going to be the guy that we're going to be highlighting for this segment of Push or Pass is what I'm going to get to. I don't know why I had such a hard time getting out, but so we got the latest edition of Push or Pass here, Dave, and fellow listeners or overmaniacs or whatever you guys want to be called today. But yeah, so we got Drew McIntyre, and I'll go ahead and go first because I know we're going to be somewhat different on this, but I'm not going to hate on him. I'm going to be realistic here. And, just because I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Drew McIntyre, and I don't hate him, I like him. I feel like the booking hasn't done him necessarily any favors, but, he was in a fucking pro package with Punk for like a fucking 6 months and then Cody for 6 months. And I don't know. But anyways, some of the Punk stuff was actually pretty good, though.
Oh yeah. Well, they've booked him as the guy that works with the guy, as opposed to the guy that is that is the guy.
Not a bad spot, but
yeah.
Anyway,
the guy has to work with somebody.
Drew, I'm gonna give him a push because he's obviously talented. He's got the look. He can do whatever you need him to do. Just my personal preference is there's maybe something not necessarily not clicking a little bit, like something's a little bit off. But maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's just the booking. It's hard to tell. But highly successful, talented wrestler, and you'd have to be an idiot not to fucking push this guy. So, I mean, I don't have a choice but to.
Right. I feel the same way. He looks like he could have been a wrestler, like, from most eras. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't look like the Drew McIntyre from 20 years ago. I mean, obviously nobody looks like how they looked from 20 years ago. But what I mean by that is he's not like a lean in shape. Like now he's a true giant. And that's something that is very lacking in the modern landscape. So, push him. Do better with the creative that you have been doing with him.
Theme in this episode.
Yep. But, I was surprised that they put the belt on him. I don't hate it, and hopefully this plays out in a way that is really cool for all of us.
Well, apparently it's going to be him versus Cody in WrestleMania. So
I'm assuming,
hopefully,
or there'll be a triple threat.
Yeah, we'll see. Wish they'd maybe go another direction, but yeah.
Braids, please.
Okay.
Swing your braids all over.
Oh wow.
It's got COVID all over it. Don't
They
swing
do?
your braids on me. Please don't swing your COVID all over.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I won't.
Well, why don't we move on to the photo album? Oh shit. Well,
Yeah,
where
who
does
took
Wally
it?
go?
Yeah, who took it?
I don't know. Not me.
Oh, yeah, we got you the first time, Morty.
Yeah. Guys just freaking out.
But yeah, we've been doing these every episode. We like them. The OverMark photo album. You okay?
Yeah.
I saw it. What? Don't overexert
Getting
yourself
old.
picking up a fucking cup.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah, we got the latest edition of the OverMark photo album. It's becoming a every segment recurring theme. We like it. We just pull them up, easy, talk about the pictures, and I'll jump into mine first if you want, Dave.
Hell yeah, let's do that.
So I got Sonic the Rabbit here. So these are some early Sonic designs. We'll have a picture up for you to check it out, but it's kind of just like it reminds me of like a Disney rabbit Sonic, kind of like it looks like a Disney design, and he's blue.
You can see where it evolved from this. They were trying to figure out what kind of animal that they were going to make him be, and I think that they settled on the right animal. The hedgehog is much cooler than the rabbit.
Yeah, I agree. 1 second there.
Cool design though.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of different hedgehog designs too that didn't look nearly as good as the one that they ended up going by. But I just picked that because I thought it was interesting. You know how I like the old obscure video game knowledge bullshit. Yeah. So that was the image that I picked, and I think it looks cool. Maybe some people don't know it. Maybe they will now, and that's about it.
Don't know, now you know. As
Sonic the Rabbit.
That's right. Well, I picked this Korn Follow the Leader era poster that was a poster that I used to have in my room when I was a teenager in the 90s. I would imagine most people that were fans of the band at that time either saw this poster in like Spencer's or had it.
It's a cool poster.
Yeah, I mean, I was all about the Korn, and this poster represents this era of Korn, I think, perfectly. It's not necessarily my favorite era of Korn, but it is still very cool. And you notice head, he's got his braids there, right?
Excuse me where you swing braids, please.
Oh yeah, he does.
Swing your braids all over.
I wonder if they got
That's what they were
COVID on
saying
them.
in the photo shoot. Yeah, they might.
It's got COVID all over it.
Oh no, Jonathan gets pissed.
Please don't swing your COVID all over.
Yeah,
He doesn't want COVID.
he
But
doesn't.
yeah, I had all kinds of corn shirts. I had all kinds of corn tapestries. I had posters. I remember seeing this one. I did not have this one, but I'm pretty sure they had this on a shirt too.
Yeah, they were.
Screams 90s.
It was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
They were just very popular for a heavy alternative metal band. They didn't quite reach the level of Metallica. They were a stadium band there for a while though, and they've kind of settled back into being an arena or amphitheater band. But I mean, if you're an arena band, you're still doing great. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're not a stadium band. You know how many bands are stadium bands? Metallica, Iron Maiden, fucking Taylor Swift, but we're not talking about that kind of music. Like rock and metal bands. Not a lot of fucking stadium metal bands out there anymore.
When they were at PNC, they were like 19,000 strong, and they're packed to watch. It was like capacity.
That's like the amphitheater, like the 20,000 person amphitheaters. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was it has the lawn and all that. It was pretty badass. I enjoyed it a lot, and the next time they come in, me and Dad are gonna go see them together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He's the guy that got me into listening to Korn and some other bands, so it's only fit that we.
That's pretty
go
cool.
Yeah, no, Dad's into all that shit. I already told you though. He listens to the same shit we do. But
yeah. Speaking
Speaking of listening to shit, I think that takes us perfectly into the OverMark MP3 folder here, Dave. What do you think?
Yeah. Man, this was a really cool one, and this is all the credit in the world to TJ for suggesting this song here. As soon as I hit play on it, I was like, "Yep, that's the
it,
one."
huh?
Oh yeah, I knew immediately. I mean, this is a great. I really enjoyed. Everybody loves Sonic 2, rightfully so.
So this is actually
I
Sonic
don't
3.
think that 3 gets enough love.
I need to let you finish your fucking sentences, but yeah,
That's all.
But no, it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's a great game. I have the Knuckles one back there, but man,
I just thought of another thing for our next episode. But anyway, regardless of that, please continue. I'm sorry.
send it to me. But the music, the graphics at the time, these games felt like a step above. Like they were fucking amazing. And the music on these, they're good during the whole Sonic, during the whole series of 1, 2, and 3. But they really stepped up a lot here, and this song, it like makes you feel urgent,
Oh, yeah.
like I don't know, it made you want to go as fast as you can.
Exactly. It is one of those, not unlike other, like when you're driving and there are songs that make you want to lead foot it. Like it's same kind of idea. This song makes you want to lead foot it. It makes you want to go, and I think that a good Sonic the Hedgehog song kind of does that.
Yeah,
Like the Chemical Zone level. Like obviously we didn't pick that song, but I mean that's.
well, there's unlimited, like literally every level from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has really good songs, and most of them from 3 do as well, and 1 has a lot of good ones. Even the Game Gear versions, the Sega CD, the PC version of some of these games have different songs. Michael Jackson made some of these fucking songs. I mean, it's we'll cover we'll toss some more Sonic ones in, and you'll listen to this in the background of this while we're talking about it, so you'll get to hear it. But I'm going to go ahead and move on here, Dave. We're going to jump through this MMA preview here. I'm not going to.
Sounds good.
I'm not going to hang on it too much. It's just going to be a fly through here.
Let's get back to that gabagool.
Let's do that. But so this is actually going to be really good. I'm super fucking looking forward to this. This shit's tomorrow. It's starting actually an hour earlier because they got the new start time at 9, so it's starting an hour earlier before that at 8 for the main card. You can say something? I'm
trying to gather my thoughts here. obviously you follow the MMA and wrestling news, and
What you
I'm
talking about?
sure
What
that
Strickland said?
yes,
Which
yes.
part? The whole thing?
Yes, he just ripped into Rhonda and Gina.
Have you never heard of him
and-
before?
No, I have, and
Okay.
this is very on brand for him. It's just
Yeah.
I'm amazed that
Yeah, they let him do it.
UFC lets him say this kind of stuff, and that somebody's not like, "Hey, dude, why don't you shut the fuck up a little bit?" No, it's whatever. Everybody wants to see these chicks naked or scissor or whatever the shit that he was saying, but you don't get on the radio show and say that.
Yeah. But this is going to be a good fight. I agree
It
with
is.
everything you just said. So Fluffy Hernandez, Anthony Hernandez, he's like the guy, like the upcoming guy in this weight division. He seems unstoppable. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. He has his pace doesn't stop. He's one of those guys that do the cardio grind, but he does it to an extent where like he's just beating the fuck out of these guys before he finishes them. He wears them down so bad they're just like they just give up on him because look up some of his finishes after this, Dave. They're brutal, man. This guy's like the real deal. I love watching him fight. He's undersized for the division, and he's still taking these guys out. And I think he's going to beat Strickland. He's the favorite. He's like a 2-4 favorite or whatever. I don't know. I'm bad with odds or whatever in numbers, but yeah, he's like -200, and then Strickland's +200. So he's like over double. But it's middleweight. It's going to be good shit. But Strickland tries to make fights boring. Stakes behind the jab. Very low amount of output. Very safe. But I don't think that's going to work for him here. He's going to have to work here really hard. But anyways, we're going to jump into the co-main, the Jeff Neal versus Roast Medic. Jeff Neal's the favorite here. He's fading. He's 35. Roast is 32. I think he has more upside here. I think he could knock Jeff Neal out. Jeff seems somewhat chinny. In his last fight, he just got knocked the fuck out really bad. And he hasn't fought in a while since. And then we got heavyweight with Sergey Spivak versus Ante Deheda. I don't know enough about Deheda to really make a good judgment of how this fight's going to go, but he is the favorite. But we'll see. It's heavyweight. Anything can happen. Then we got featherweight here with Dana Ige versus Miguel Costa. I'm saying that Melquistel. I don't know, but Costa should win. He's an insanely exciting striker, and he'll probably end up knocking Ige out. Then we have welterweight with Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harnell. Yeah, Josiah Harnell. Two undefeated prospects. This is a really awesome fight to check out. Both these guys are very great fighters, and whoever comes out of this is going to be looking very positive in their UFC career.
I mean, the hell, if it's a good enough fight, both guys could come out looking good.
That does happen. Sometimes there doesn't have to be a loser, really in the end.
I mean, somebody has to get their hand raised, but both guys can win as fighters. Like, they're not getting. We don't
Nobody
physically
shits on
mean
them for
as
the
the W.
performance. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they come out a higher profile, they come out looking better in the end.
That's exactly. That was the verbiage I was too stupid to find. Thank you.
So we got Michel Pereira, that's a guy, versus Zachary Reese. Pereira's the favorite here. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. I think he's been finished a couple of those. One of them by Hernandez, who I was talking about earlier. But yeah, Reese, I think will probably end up taking that out, but we'll see. Then we got a featherweight with Del Valle. I'm not going to say Yadir. I don't know. I don't really feel like covering any of the rest of them.
Yadir Del Valle.
Yeah.
Del Valle.
Odie Osborne versus E.B. Eldris should be all right. Carlos Leo versus Chidi and Jaquani should be good. But that's really all I want to cover. So a lot of those guys I don't really know.
Oh, you don't want to talk about Carly Jedice and Juliana Miller?
No, I've seen Miller fight before, but I don't think I've seen Carly fight. Some of these people, it's their debut. Multiple of them.
Or Punahil Soriano versus Ramiz Bramaj.
I've seen both of those guys fight. Bramaj sucks.
However the fuck you say it.
Bramaj sucks. I know that. But it should be a good night of fights. I know I kind of jumped over the prelims, but you guys don't want to hear me ramble on about shit that I don't fucking know about. I'm sure they'll be good.
Well, not just that. People aren't going to watch the prelims. Sorry.
I will. I'll be watching them. But that main
You'll
event,
remind me that it's on, and I'll turn it on. But
that main event, even if you don't watch it as it happens, everybody check it out later. That's the good thing about having a Paramount subscription. You can always watch it right after it ends. But we're on some MMA talk, and I wanted to talk about somebody who is an MMA legend, and that's Cain Velasquez. And you saw he got out, right?
he sure did, and he looked happy and healthy, and his friends looked happy to have him home.
Yeah. You know, he had that whole incident happen with somebody trying to SA his child, and he tried to attack them with a firearm.
Unalive them.
Yeah, he tried to attack them with a firearm, and somebody got hit in the process that wasn't his intended, victim or target. And he has an ankle bracelet on. I saw pictures of him hanging out with Khabib and a whole bunch of other people. Nobody's going to shit on this guy for what he did. It was a crime of passion.
Hero.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody does that. It's like, the guy still hasn't been tried yet, by the way. That's something that you discovered.
Which is crazy. Cain already pled,
got out,
did time, and it got out. Like, what are we doing?
Because it's violent, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty terrible. But
so this guy harmed a kid, and we're jumping the guy that tried to fucking end him to the head of the line to put him in jail before the guy that hurt a kid. Our justice system is fucked, man.
Well, let me tell you something. That guy's going to go into jail, and he's going to get fucked. So in the end, justice will prevail. I'm pretty sure if he does get tossed in there.
I think we got a sound clip for that.
Oh, is he okay? What's wrong with that guy?
I don't think he's having a good time.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, but yeah, Cain's the man. He's one of the best MMA heavyweights ever. He had a lot of injuries. His career was kind of cut short. It's really a shame kind of how it turned out, but we're really glad he's out, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. And welcome back home, Cain. Welcome to the outside. I hope when you got home, whatever your favorite meal was, that's what you had for dinner that night, and cool that you get to be back with your homies and your family.
I couldn't agree more. Hopefully he's back to training. I know he's not going to fight again probably, but hopefully he's just staying in the gym,
working out and shit,
staying busy. He's got a lot of support from a lot of people around him that really like him. Really good.
I'll bet you they were just sucking his dick in gym, and not like physically sucking.
What are
his
they going to
dick,
do to
but,
him? They're not going to beat him
I'm
up.
I'm sure he was treated very well.
What do you think? They're going to fucking take his cornbread? Could you imagine the shit that he could do to people in there in like a street fight type of environment? I mean, just him taking your head and palming it and smash it against the wall, and he could kill you, and it's like he's got brown pride across his chest. Like you see that motherfucker and just be like, oh God damn it, man, please don't try to whip my ass.
Yeah. How you doing today, Mr. Velasquez? Would you like my fruit cup?
No, I'm sure he was a pretty nice guy to get along with in there.
They let him out early without question. He was a model citizen in there.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
They don't necessarily let you out early for bad behavior. Well, it is California, so maybe. But regardless of that, we kind of talked about this a minute ago when we were talking about the Strickland stuff. Obviously, everybody knows by now there was the big super fight announcement of Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. And it's going to be promoted by old Jake Paul and his most valuable promotions. It's going to be on Netflix. I mean, this is a big deal for MMA, for Jake Paul's promotion, and for Netflix. We got May 16th. So it's adjacent to WWE Battleground in terms of the date in time. And it says here they're going to do a 5-round professional MMA bout. I don't know why I said bite. Maybe they're going to bite each other. Yeah. Who knows? But at 145 pounds under the unified rules. So basically MMA rules that we all are used to. It's first time Ronda has fought since 2016. Carano's been out for nearly 17 years. They're both obviously considered pioneers of MMA. Man,
this isn't going to be a very good fight. Ronda's just going to probably end up taking her down and submitting her within the first minute. Carano was in a very shitty division, and she stood apart then, but I mean the chicks that she was going against sucked, and she wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And then she went against
She
Cyborg.
was
And Cyborg
she was or
smashed her.
is, yeah. I mean, she probably one of the most beautiful MMA fighters of all time. You know,
I mean, she's not a bad looking lady, but she's always. I'd be surprised if she makes weight. She always had a lot of trouble making weight back in the day.
you know why? She got them heavies.
Yeah,
And
Rousey will make weight.
she's like the same age as me now, so I mean, them heavies are heavier.
Rousey always fought at 135. She fought at 145 a couple times early on, but she never would fight Cyborg, and she said because 145 wasn't her weight division. So I don't know, but we were talking about this, and one of the things we were saying, like, I was saying, you were saying that this fight's going to do really well for him, and I think it will, but there's a world where it doesn't. So Ronda Rousey, I think, brings out the casual fan, right? People that normally don't watch these kind of things. But they'll come out for her. But the problem is she's been gone forever. And she wore out her UFC welcome when she was there, so maybe people will forget about that. She wore out the WWE welcome. Okay, so maybe those fans don't need to buy the fight. But it's not like, I don't know, I just feel like the brand's tarnished, but maybe there's enough curiosity here, and I don't know.
It's gonna do big numbers, I promise.
Who knows who Gina Carano is? And who the fuck knows who she is? Like, seriously.
She was in The Mandalorian. People know that.
I know, but come on. You think most people that really watched that knew who that character was? It was just some chick in The Mandalorian to them.
Yeah.
Gina Carano wasn't even that big of a deal back in the day. She was just a pioneer. She was the biggest chick then in fucking Elite XC and Strike Force, not in the UFC. Rousey was the one that got big enough to take that over. So yep. I don't know. Maybe it'll do decent for him, but I don't think it's gonna it's not gonna be like a Jake Paul fight.
No, I don't know. It's not gonna do like Tyson numbers, but I think it'll do.
Well, there's no rest of the card.
Oh, it's just them fighting?
No, they don't know the rest of the card. They don't have it set up, so the rest of the card could stink. But I mean, I know that doesn't matter. Like, it's not the end of the world.
No, they're gonna get Nick, I bet.
He is under UFC still, I'm pretty sure, so he can't sign with anybody else. Okay. They could get Nate. He isn't.
Okay,
but we'll see. They have a little bit of time to figure this out, but in the end, this fight isn't relevant. Is the main point that I was trying to make. Really, it's like there's nothing that happens here of any consequence. Ronda Rousey's going to be in a safe place with people complimenting her all week, so she doesn't get her feelings hurt. So they're not going to be spamming her getting knocked out over and over again, because she won't be able to handle that. But yeah, I don't want to hand her too much, but Ronda Rousey is just a terrible fucking person.
They did do that. Well, yeah.
That's my bit. That's all I have to say.
It is. Well, there was a lot of that, and maybe we'll see some titties pop out or something. That's all we can hope for, I guess.
I mean, I don't really care about that.
It would go more viral if that happened.
Yeah,
than
it would.
If not, I promise you.
I agree.
Did you see in the third round, fucking both of their jugs popped out? Yeah, I saw it. 10 million other people saw it too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did, brother.
If I'm Jake, I'm out there telling them before the match. It's like, listen, if you guys' jugs come out, it's not the end of the world.
Oh damn, yeah. We got to get some camel toe in there. That'll really
tear away outfits.
Oh shit,
it's terrible. Let's move on and talk about the most interesting section of the show, maybe to some people, the beloved Channel 3 segment.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. We're having some folks pester us over on the gaming channel, and first things first with all that stuff, go fuck yourself with an iron rod. We don't give a fuck about your dumb fuck negative opinion. And, I can't say what I really want to say, but just go taste some metal.
Isn't there a bridge you should be walking off of? I think is how they say it on. See, I'm looking here. So it's actually gotten a little bit better. So we were at like a 30-some% like on the like to dislike, we have 10 dislikes, but now we're catching up. We have 9 likes. So we're about 50-50. So eventually it could overtake it. It has let me go back to the video. So it's got 262 views with 8.6 watch time. So people are watching, actually sitting down and watching it, which is good.
So to those of you that like it, even if you're not clicking like, thank you. And for those of you that are being dickheads, go fuck yourself. We don't say that. Yeah. It's our show. Fuck you.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings with the AI stuff, and I really don't give a fuck if I am. But I just want to let you know that we're not hurt. No one was hurt in the making of the AI images, except you.
If you're upset about our AI generated thumbnails,
fight us about it. Come over here and fight us about it.
You can fight us, or you can donate your services as an artist, and you can make us art for our channel for free.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford to pay somebody. This channel is actually a net loss to TJ and I. We spend money on it, and we don't make money back. So,
passion
not that we're upset
brother.
about that or anything, but, just frig off.
Take it for what it is.
Negativity.
Yeah, take it for what it is. When we can take shortcuts, we got to, because that's the option. I'm not an artist. I'm not
They're not on here railing fucking Chris Van Vliet. He's one of the most successful fucking channels on this motherfucker, and he uses AI to generate his thumbnails. Maven does. All these guys do. Kevin Nash. What?
I think that that video there is going to keep going, and it's going to end up having a higher like ratio, and since it's evergreen, it over time will end up overcoming the gooftards that were attacking it. I did change the image, by the way, so it's I can tell it's AI, but if they're not looking that much, maybe they can't. But well,
we're not trying to fool anybody, but
it's not the end of the world.
Fooled, that's good too.
Yeah. Let's jump into it, Dave.
Yeah,
I'll take us in
enough
if you want.
motherfucking everybody. Why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about today on this wonderful Channel 3 segment?
So the main topic of Channel 3, our video game part of the show here that you guys might know if you've watched this shit before, would be me and Dave talking about the most innovative console of all time. And, normally for these things we pick 2 separate ones, but, we agreed on the same one here. And I don't know how you couldn't, but it was the Dreamcast, right, Dave?
Yes, sir. Man. Feels like we talk about Dreamcast a lot on here, and that's not a bad
Super Nintendo
thing.
As well. It's Dreamcast and Super Nintendo.
And then from there, it kind of gets like N64, PS2, and
360 sometimes,
whatever else.
Genesis.
Yeah.
We get them, man.
But yeah, I feel like you said, it's probably those consoles the most often.
Absolutely. But
and for good reason.
Yeah. What are those reasons, Dave?
Well, Dreamcast had VMU, free online gaming, which obviously they started charging after a while, but it was, not at first. It was the first console MMO and the first console DLC with the Sonic Adventure. Man, I think back, and it's going to sound stupid because there are more games than this, but I played so much fucking Crazy Taxi, dude. I can't even.
People did.
I don't know why. It's not like it's the greatest game of all time or anything, but man, you sit down on it and you start doing it, and before you know it, like 2 hours have gone by. It's very addictive.
Well, I mean, so going back to what we were talking about earlier, so the VMU, that's the virtual memory unit, that's the memory card, and it was the first console to have like a screen in the memory card, but you could take the fucking thing out, and not only could you take it out, they had games like Sonic Adventure where you raise those little chow guys.
Yeah,
you could put them on the VMU memory card, and I would take it to school, and then you could link them up to somebody else's VMU and fucking fight your chows, Dave. It was literally like a little Game Boy in your hand. It had buttons on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then like it would make noises. It was the most advanced memory card to any point. It was amazing. I remember I got a Japanese one, and it worked on the English one. Like once you put it in, it like made it English and transferred it over. But that's how like in like demand they were when this console first came out. It's like, GameStop sold me a fucking Japanese one. That's like how in
Yeah, how
trying to say? In demand they were. There we go.
They
Thank
just started shipping them out whatever they had in stock to everybody. They're like, oh, it will work.
I mean, and then you were talking about the online gaming. It was the first console to have online gaming, really, like
Right.
to launch with it. It was the first one. We had like, you know, what is it? What was the Genesis version? Where you plugged the cable into the back, and then Super Nintendo also had a version where you plugged a cable into the back and then got online too and downloaded the games. I forget what both
I
of
never
those were.
fucked with any of that stuff.
The Sega channel was the Genesis one. And I forget what the Super Nintendo one was, but they both had something like that, but they weren't true online gaming. They were just downloading kind of like packs and stuff like that, but they weren't downloading games to your game. They were just downloading a completely separate game that you could only get online. But this, you could browse the web. You could play games online. You could share, scoreboards and like high scores and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it was highlight what I'm talking about now is it had the first game to have actual DLC, which is Sonic Adventure. They even had like a launch DLC. You would log on and it would save the files into your VMU, what we were talking about earlier, the memory card. And, it would just do shit like in Station Square, which is the hub world in that zone or in that game. It would just have like, little things like in Christmas, it would have Christmas trees and all other kinds of shit. During the one I was talking about, the launch, it would like, congratulations on the launch and other shit like that. But they would have Valentine's, Easter, pretty much any of the normal ones. They would have a couple different things like that too. Besides the holiday events, they had a couple. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but all kinds of weird random DLC. That in itself, if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. They're pretty cool. But I mean, think about it. This thing had so many console first. How could you not say it wasn't the most innovative, right?
I mean, it really was. And if you're tired of hearing us talk about Dreamcast, you're probably going to be tired of listening to this segment for a long time because there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about it. But spoiler alert, the next segment of Channel 3 will not be about Dreamcast. You can take that to the bank.
Well, but before we move on,
it might
Dave,
feature Sega. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's going to. But before we move on to that, though, the memories with the Dreamcast. I've talked about multiple of them on here. Like the Christmas cop thing, and how my copy of Sonic Adventure, I had to like trade it in 3 times for it to work. But that's not what you remember in the end. You just remember the awesome catalog. This had one of the best launches of all time, I feel like. But in the end, it wasn't destined to work out. But amazing, innovative console. I mean, I still play. I was playing it the other day, and it still has graphics that are awesome. I was playing Phantasy Star Online still, by the way, on private servers, so you can still play this fucking thing online. It was one of the first consoles to have a broadband modem. It launched with the 56K, but you could get the broadband modem. I have my 56K modem above my thumb. If you look right there, guys, I have the broadband one in my Dreamcast. But one of my favorite consoles ever, and it always made me feel connected when I was playing it, because none of the other consoles were online. So it was just cool to feel connected.
Yeah, it wasn't as much of a like friend event like the Nintendo 64 was, but awesome system nonetheless. And I still remember plenty of times of me and my friends hanging out, taking turns playing single player games, because I don't remember us playing very many multiplayer games on there, just because we were poor and didn't have a ton of games for it.
Yep, it was the best version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1.
Yes, I think 2 is my favorite Tony Hawk. Maybe someday we'll deep dive that series.
The best version, I think that'd be great, but the best version of Tony Hawk 2, in my opinion, is 2X for the Xbox. That was also one of those games that has never released on anything else either. Dead on the Xbox.
I feel like I remember playing 2 on the regular PlayStation.
Yeah, they had up to 4 on the regular PlayStation, but they were super cut down versions. It wasn't the same version that you were getting on anything else. They went up to 3 on the 64, and they didn't have the disc. So can you imagine how shitty that game was?
I can't even imagine. I imagine they sacrificed the audio quality for the.
Well, you're not getting songs. You're not getting FMV. You know the song? Sorry, Dave.
Yeah. No, it's just because it's all
delay.
cartridge based.
You know the like this is how the songs would be on the 64. Like on the first one, like it just start like back over, no words.
Yeah.
But it was still a good version of the game for back then.
They did the best that they could, and you know, they
doing the
pushed
best they
the
ever
limits
did.
of cartridge technology.
You remember how we were talking that one time about Godsmack and all their songs are about like get away, don't touch me.
Keep away, stay away, fuck off. Yeah.
I'm doing the best I ever did. Go away. Yeah, they don't want you near them.
There's the one song, I can't remember the name of it, but it literally starts off and it's like dun 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 dun, dun get back. It's like, damn, dude.
Oh, that's funny. They don't want anybody near them.
Nope. It's me and my friends used to meme about that when we were younger. It's like, fuck, dude, how many songs can you write about people staying the fuck away from you?
A lot.
Do like I told you, stay away from me.
Okay, no problem, man. You don't have to ask more than once. Stop making albums about it.
The song is literally called Keep Away.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Well, let's keep away to the next one, I guess. And we're going to be talking about our favorite looking consoles here. Me and Dave were talking about this before the show, keeping it fresh. And it's funny because we could have probably done a better transition since we were just talking about the Dreamcast, but talk to us, Dave.
Well, you know, through no influence of the previous segment, I picked Dreamcast as my favorite looking console. This was a really tough choice, and it could change at any time, but I'm going with Dreamcast for now. I like the bubbliness of it. You know, it's not like just a brick or a square. You know, there's shape to it. There's shape to the controller.
Sleek.
I like the way the buttons look on it. The lights.
Yeah, it's I remember the CD tray was always like a little bit loud, but
Yeah.
I love the controller on the thing, and I like the color scheme. You know, I think it was the first console to do the like mostly white.
Yeah. It's like that kind of creamy gray white. I don't know how to describe it.
Beautiful console. I love it. And it sits on the shelf great. You know, I don't think you could set anything on top of it like too big, but you could if you needed to. It's not completely uneven.
It's because it's kind of got that roundedness to it.
You could set a little figure on it or something if you weren't going to open it.
Oh yeah. Well, it would look good. Well, why don't you tell us about what your favorite looking console is? And sure, I'm going to add the disclaimer to yours that we added to mine. It could change at any time, but currently it is what?
Yep. So it's the new 3DS XL. There's a whole bunch of special editions of this. I have one of them downstairs. It's a Majora's Mask one, but
you got the Zelda one. That's right.
yeah. But I actually had the normal, the 3DS XL before the new version. It was a Pikachu one, and that's one of my favorite looking consoles as well. But anyways, just these things are awesome. They're big, clamshell. They close down on top of each other. You know, they got it's perfect. You know, you got the touch screen. It's got 2 fucking screens on it. How much cooler can I get than that? It has a microphone. It has the Wi-Fi thing, and they're all set up where you know what they are. It's simple. It works. You can put it in your pocket and take it anywhere with you. I know that doesn't necessarily how it looks, but man, it's just a cool little portable console, and it's definitely my favorite looking portable console. And then I think it really overtakes. You know, it's really close. I was saying like the GameCube might be my favorite looking console, but right now it's definitely the 3DS. I think the 3DS might be my favorite console in general. It's just it's a great piece of equipment. You can play so many games, you know, like 3DS, DS, Game Boy Color. You can even do a whole bunch of other shit on it if you got it modded. But it's just a really, really neat looking console. I really even like the original looking version, the one that's more of a box. It's more rectangular, but yeah, it's a cool little console.
It is. Well, that was a pretty good one. I didn't actually know what it looked like before you and I talked about it before the show. That's how checked out I've been of the console scene for a while now. But
Well, you're good.
it does look very cool.
Yeah.
Did they ever come out with that Switch 2 Legend of Zelda edition, or is that just a
Not
thing
yet,
that
no.
like we talked about wanting to be a thing? And
Not yet. I guarantee you. They're remaking Ocarina of Time, and they're gonna do like a version of that, and I'm gonna buy it. And so I have a special version. I'm gonna point at it. It's like right behind me, in this cabinet behind these games. But it's a special version. It's the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED version. It's never been opened, and I'm gonna do the same thing with some Switch 2 versions. And I
yeah,
think,
the question I have about that, because I was thinking about that, because we've talked about you buy one of the special ones for you to play, and then one for you to sell years later, because obviously now we know shit that we didn't know when we were kids, and it's like fuck, if we had a Nintendo from when we were kids that we kept in the box, we'd be balling. So it's the same kind of idea. But what do we do about the batteries? Because the battery inside, even if you
it just
don't
is
use
what it
it,
is. I don't know.
discharges over a while. So like, what do you do about that in the future when you want to sell it and it's got a completely dead battery in it because
I guess they'll
it's
have
had
to
on your
open it and
shelf
repair
in
it.
the box for 20 years?
They'll just have to
I guess
open
you
it and
just
repair it.
put a disclaimer on the ad. Hey, this has been sealed since fucking 2026.
They know.
The odds are that the battery will no longer be functional and will have to be replaced, but everything is brand new, sealed in the
Yeah.
package.
They'd have to know. I mean, there's nothing you can do to control that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you gonna do?
I mean that's just the only thing that I think about when we talk about stuff like that now, because if you bought like a Super Nintendo, it's just in the box, boom, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's like,
caps could go bad over time, I guess, even if they're not being used.
yeah. I mean, that's just a thing in retro consoles in general. That are boxed. You never know the condition you're going to get to. You get it. Those original Xboxes, the caps go bad, and some of those pretty frequently.
Yeah, I think it was the first gen of them or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to get recapped a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of recap a lot, that doesn't really transition us into what we're going to be talking about next. But I tried. And speaking of trying, I got a question for you, Dave.
Yes.
Would you buy an all-digital console? Not like a little mini, just like a real mainline.
Now, when you say all digital console, you mean like there's no game that I put in it. Everything's just
No disc.
I don't
no
think so.
cartridge.
I don't like the concept of non-ownership
store
that
only.
these companies like to do to us. And, that's a good example of that sort of thing. They decide, look at all these machines that have come out over the years that, you were just talking about Dreamcast. You have to play it online on like a private server because obviously
3DS
30
as
years
well.
later, Sony or Sega's not going to continue to have an online service for their game, their system that wasn't super successful, but still.
I mean, 3DS,
You know.
fucking, I forget exactly how old that is. I think it's 2013 or something. But I mean, you look at that, it's not as old as the Dreamcast, and you can't do anything with that anymore.
No, I think about things like I got rid of all my CDs, like 6 or 7, well, maybe longer now, and it's like fuck. I wish I had kept all that stuff because it was literally my CD collection from the time that I was like 4 years old.
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff like that went by too. But I mean, you're not thinking. You're just a kid, and your parents are the ones that fucked up. They should have known,
No.
and they fucking let you blow it.
Well, no, I mean I was an adult. I threw the shit
Oh,
away like
damn,
fucking
that
7 or
sucks.
8 years ago, like a retard. Yeah,
That
I just
sucks.
I don't know why I did. I just wanted to.
You're in a
It was in
different
my
mind
closet.
state.
It had been in there. I just wanted to fucking get rid of it.
Different mind state.
Yep. But now it's funny. I won't do that now. But hey, real quick before we go, one thing.
Okay.
1 second.
We're waiting here a second, guys. Seeing what Dave has planned.
I believe it.
Hopefully it's going to be some good stuff. He's getting the hair back. You get that haircut.
A little hot in here. I can get that hair out of
Yeah.
my face. So I do have one thing from when I was a kid. And this is from when I was in 3rd grade.
That's awesome.
It's they only made 75,000 of these.
Is it open?
Yeah, I mean it got fucked up over the years, but I mean it's open
Still in
insofar
great
as
shape
like
for what it
it's
is.
a box that it flips open. You know, you've got like some
Yeah.
fucked up corners and shit. But I mean, you know, there was like little holes that when I was younger I put pieces of tape over. Like there's a little
Yeah.
fuck up on the plastic there. But I mean, like I'll never get rid of this thing. This is
Why would you?
badass.
That's a piece. That's awesome. Who got that
They're
for you?
probably still only worth about $50, which is what I think they gave for it back then. My mom and my stepdad got me that.
Well, that was nice of them.
So shout out to mom and stepdad. I can't remember
Still
if
got
that
it.
was a Christmas or a birthday, but yeah. I don't know how it is that thing has survived all of these years through different moves and things of that nature, but here we are.
Yeah, it looks like it's. I mean, it's the shape you would expect it to be in. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's holding
Well-
up. Some of them don't hold up.
Yeah. Well, most of the time it just sits there. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like I'm handling it all the time
Yeah.
or anything. But you know,
I mean,
shit
some
happens.
of them just
you
sit
know?
in the sun. You know, people just let shit sit in the sun, and it fucking just destroys them.
Yeah,
I went by a store.
I live in Florida. Everything is sun destroyed down here.
I went by a store the other day, and it's a retro store, and they had like hundreds of Funko Pops in the front, and they were all completely sun fucked.
Why would
It's
you
like,
do that?
I don't know. It's like you got to put tent up there or something.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, speaking of something,
But anyway,
that's it.
Yep.
That's all we got for you.
This show was something. TJ was a fun episode.
Yep.
We're gonna quick out of here because I really gotta pee. So thanks for the fun episode. I appreciate
Oh, no
you.
problem. Appreciate you being here, and
Much love.
you know, we're the OverMark gang. Me and Dave here, and anybody that's watching, subbed, you're the part of the OverMark gang with us. Me and Dave are the leaders of the OverMark gang, and you guys are our young
right.
blood, young boys. How about that? No. We can't say that. We don't want young boys.
OOM.
Yeah.
Is that close
That's
enough?
Yeah, probably do it the other way, but there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OM bitches. Fucking.
Well, like we said, we appreciate you, but we're going to wrap it on up. Please subscribe, check out some of our other videos, check out some of our shorts. We're going to try to be supplying you guys with a hefty dose of OverMark bullshit content, because that's what we fucking throw out to you guys on a weekly basis. But I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate you guys listening, and send us home, Dave.
See you guys next time. Maybe in a handful of days, maybe in another week. I don't know, sometime midweek next week, probably. See you guys later.
Take it easy.